What up, my brother?
What's up, my brother? How you doing today?
All is well, man. I said, I see TB done popped into the page, so let me just send that request real quick. Are you gonna be in Houston for the for the Barber Expo?
I'm working on it right now, so I got to check our schedule. So we got a whole team who put stuff together to tell me where I'm going to be at next. So
Okay,
I'm definitely going to tell them to bump that up on the schedule so I can get out there.
okay. So what is the TBD versus all about? Because I see the posting online. I see that you do a podcast also, right?
Yes, sir.
So what is the TBD versus all about?
All right, so it's TDB versus,
Huh?
which is Trust the Barber versus. I am Trust the Barber.
Okay.
Been cutting for 36 years.
Whoa,
Uh,
36 years.
yes, sir. I got my first apprenticeship license in New York at 15 years old. And I've been cutting ever since. I did a stint in the military. I was in the Marine Corps, and I cut while I was there. My master guns told me, he's like, "Hey, you got a definite talent." I tell most people to stay in, but you one who needs to get out and go cut hair because that's what you do that
Wow.
well. So I've been cutting hair ever since. Used to own 5 shops. So now I'm in this podcast thing, and I actually started what's called TDB Versus. It's a nationwide virtual barber tournament. So it's not a barber battle, it's a barber tournament. So we have 4 regions: Northeast, Southeast, Central, and West. There's going to be a celebrity barber influencer that's going to be the actual captain of each region. And we're giving away $100,000 to one barber at the end. It's a single elimination tournament.
Wow.
So
So
go ahead.
when did it start?
It hasn't started yet. Right now, we're in the what's called the marketing phase. We're going to every barber battle around the country. We're meeting barbers such as yourself, because my whole thing with this is I can go get the barber influencers that everybody knows to be captains, but for me, a captain for the captain for the region needs to be like a mentor. It needs to be like basically like a coach. Like they have to be able to coach these people. They have to be somebody who knows social media well, somebody who knows barbering well, somebody who's good in their community and stuff like that. Because it ain't just about giving $100,000. It's about putting the barber industry into a prominent place that it should always be. I feel
Okay.
like we're not represented where we should always have been represented. We get our licenses like doctors, lawyers, and everything, but they're looked at one way, we looked at another way. So that's the whole purpose of doing this nationwide tournament, so that people can see barbers are doing great things in the community. Barbers are a staple in the community, because whether it's your first haircut or your last haircut when they're putting you in the ground, we're
Uh-huh.
always there. When you get married,
Absolutely.
you get divorced, you have a child, you graduate, we're there. So
Yep.
I want people to understand that. So that's the purpose of this whole year. We have a year-long marketing tour that we're going on, where, like I said, we go there. I don't care if it's big, small. It might be 2 people there. It might be 1,000 people, or 4,000, 5,000. We want to touch every corner of America and every barber that's out there, or every barber supply company that's out there, so we can get you ever heard of the show Diner, Drive-Ins, and Dimes?
Yeah, yeah.
We want
I mean, I love food, bro, so I know all of them food shows.
hey, you ain't alone there. So we want to do that same thing. We wanted to shine a light on everybody, because there's a lot of great talent in this barbering world that people don't get to see, because some people don't post. But my
Yep.
team is actually very good at scouring all the corners of the earth to find these barbers. And we've been trying to get you on the show too. So we left
Okay.
your message in your DM. So I know you get a lot of DMs, so it's in there
I'm
somewhere.
I'm here now, man. Whenever you need me to come on board to do whatever, all you gotta do, I'm gonna see you my phone number
Okay.
so that you can have it, cause I need to be in and locked in with you, because I be one, whoever does the marketing on there is phenomenal, because I'll be like, y'all got it going on over there.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it. We have
you
a
know what I'm
good
saying?
team. We have a
Yeah.
great team over here that does that.
But what gave you the idea to do this though? Because I know during the COVID, they had the verses with all the artists, and then
Yes.
there was a barber verses, and then when the pandemic was over, right before the pandemic was over, they tried to do expos virtually, which didn't work. Bronner Brothers tried to do it, stuff like that. So where did you come up with this virtual battle?
Okay, so long story short, I have a business partner who's in the music business. So we used to do this same thing for the music business. And I said, well, I love barbing. I love music too, but barbing is my first love. And I said, it's some people don't have the money to travel to all these expos to do stuff, right? They don't have
Mm-hmm.
that money because it costs a lot. You know, you've been to them.
Yeah.
I can say when I go, it's 1,500 plus just to go.
Yeah.
So I said, well, how can we bring people together? Going back to COVID, everybody was in the house. So now this podcasting, all this stuff is taking off. And I said, well, what if we have everything virtually, where all you have to do is do like we're doing now? You got a
Yep.
camera, and we bring you all together. So luckily, because of COVID, we have the technology now to
Yep.
bring everybody together, like thousands of people together at one time.
Yep.
So our team that we put together, that's all we did for like 2 years, was focus on what is the best technology to bring everyone together. We actually talked to someone from the NFL. If you remember, during 2020, they had the virtual draft.
Yep.
And that's how all this got started. We talked to them. We talked to the guy. It was a guy who was helping with that. And he was like, and I told him my idea. And he said, well, let me give you a couple of pointers and we're going to help you to do it. So that guy gave me the pointers. He gave me he showed me the software. We all learned the software to do it with. And we said, okay, so we're going to have a virtual draft. We're going to have a poll where the audience tells us who they think should be the barber influencer that will coach each region. And we're going to make it a big event that doesn't happen just one day, but it happens in several phases over the year. Because I noticed, like, let's say if you have CT Barber Expo, LV Barber Expo, everything is pumping during that like month or two leading up to the show. But then the rest of the year, we're like, we don't have anything.
Yeah.
So I said, when the NFL finishes in February, that's when we crank up to
Cause
give
cause
people
then you'd be able to focus. Cause sports right now is going crazy.
going crazy. I'm taking a chance by even doing our show at 3:00 Eastern on Sundays. But I said,
Yeah.
hey, we're gonna do it. So, but yeah, that's how that all got started. So it's basically to bring the barbering world together. Because if you know Lonnie and Tamel from United's Barber Club,
Of
they're all
course, my
about
brother.
barber love. My
Yep.
thing is to bring all of us together: white, black, Hispanic, Asian, rich, poor, 5 followers, 1,000 followers, 100,000 followers. I believe we all have a story to tell, and I want to get that story out there, and I want to show us in a prominent light. Everything ends here in Las Vegas, so with a big show that's I want to talk to Jackie Starr so we can get in conjunction with them because I love their show. I love Jay's show and I love her show. I love Lee's show. I love all the shows. Everybody does a great job. And there's a lot of work that goes into that. And I want to showcase that. Even what you're doing. I saw you moving around at the LV Barber Expo. I couldn't get with you because you was moving way faster than me, man.
Man, if I would have known you was there, man, I would have definitely stopped and shopped. It was so much going on, bro.
Right. I was waiting for you for a while. You were talking to what's his name from the Barber View TV.
Effects.
Yes, you were talking to him, and I was waiting, but he's long-winded, boy. He's long-winded. So.
Was you the one that had the
yes.
You didn't have the cameras?
Yes.
Come on, bro.
You. That's me.
Why you ain't saying it was you though? Come on, bro.
Hey,
because I saw you filming, and I'm like, okay, it's just everybody got cameras now, so it's like,
right.
I don't know who's doing what, but if I would have put 2 and 2 together, I don't care what I was doing, bro. There's important people that I need to be chopping it up with, and you one of those people that I need to be chopping it up with.
Right. It's our God's time, and we here right now, and we chopping it up. But when you're at that event as a content creator, you have to catch the B-roll. You have to catch that B-roll. So watching you two guys talk, I put that on the B-roll. If you ever,
somebody,
I'm gonna say you were running around there and you were doing your thing, man.
I appreciate you, my brother. I appreciate you. So you put up the footage already that you got of me?
Oh yeah, it's up. It's up.
It's on your
It should be on a reel. Like I have it. It's in our so it's gonna show up periodically. Like it's already scheduled to show up periodically. So it's in. We cut it in with a bunch of other scenes that was from the from the expo.
This week's episode of Razor Sharp Podcast is brought to you by No Clog. First of its kind technology, zero clog, 100% performance. Welcome to the No Clog. The future of airbrushing starts here. Check them out at noclogairbrush.com. Also on IG. Okay, how many team members did you have with you?
So I had my director. So with me, it was my director of sponsorships was there because he was actually talking to all the Andy's people and stuff. I had some videographers there. So what I try to do is I don't want us to be really seen. I want us to be like behind the scenes where you don't know we're really there, but we're there so that we can catch honest stuff that's happening. Because, people put on their best face when they know that you're somebody doing something. So there was a couple of people running around with cameras that was catching different parts of it. And then we go put it all together, after we get through.
That's amazing. Because, it's crazy because I always say that there's so many people that's creating content at these events. And I even spoke to Jay about it. I said, but we never get to see the actual content. It'd be, it'd be stuff for the reels or stuff for shorts. But I like long form. That was crazy. But I like to hear, I like to watch, like, if I couldn't make it, I want to be able to ingest the stuff that you put out, and I'll be like, "Dang, I got enough that made me want to go to it next time." So you know what I'm saying? But that's what I do is I either go to the shows and be able to capture enough that for somebody that couldn't make it, that was thinking about making it, but maybe it's not worth my money. I've created the picture that'll make you say, "All right, next year I gotta be there." Because that's what we're missing,
And that's what I wanted to talk to Jay about, because, you got to get permission from Jay or Jackie to actually do that, because I like to film it live and broadcast the actual show, the actual event live. So all day we'll just be sitting there, because if you go to the music shows, they have what's called Media Row. And the different media, so you would be a media platform, I would be a media platform, and it's basically getting your show from walking in the door to all the different things, but from different perspectives. Like when you see an award show and you have whatever the TV shows are that they have out now, but they're all there with a microphone and they're filming different aspects of the show, which makes people say, next year, I'm not going to miss that.
Yeah.
And I think that's an element that's missing out of these expos, because a lot of people put a lot of time and money into these expos.
Yeah.
But you don't know if it's in the closet and nobody sees it, nobody can experience how it is. Yeah, we can get on there and say, "Oh man, it was a movie." Okay, we didn't get to see it.
We didn't get to see that movie. That movie never be released.
Right.
Yeah, that's a fact. Because I spoke to Jay. I said, there's always time where you only get bits and pieces of when the educators are on stage, and he was like, well, we can't really put that out there because there's times that the educators may use the same type of information at a different show. So I'm like, but if you're good at what you do, you got to be like a comedian. A comedian, they'll go on tour. There's sometimes that people be filming and stuff like that, but it's so good that it don't even matter if you already heard it before. The fact that you need to hear it again, right? So that's what I think. But we are missing. We don't have, when it comes to these shows, there's no media presence. Like, I remember going to shows back in like 2011, 12, 13, where you can sign up to be press, and then they give you your press pass, and you have all access. And then I think from like 2014, 15, when I was going to CT, I had press pass. And then after that, it was just like, well, we're not really doing that no more because everybody's bringing their cameras now. And we don't really need that because people are just filming and just putting it out there. But they need the representation that people are going to do it right. There's nothing wrong with somebody using their phone or using their camera to put up their footage. But if a person has a good online presence that's going to bring more eyes to what you got going on, then you need them.
Exactly. And that was my point exactly. Now, every Joe Blow with a camera phone or a camera, no. But if you see somebody who's consistently, and because you do this every week, and I see you every day, you on live 3-4 times a day with almost every prominent person in the industry, kudos to you.
Thank you, my brother.
You know what it takes to put this on. We're not just like some, it takes a week to just put an hour show on. A whole week. You got to research people. You got to do all this stuff. And those are the people I think should be at the expos. Those are the persons who should get the press passes.
Yep.
because like you said, it'll make your show better to have that press pass. They should invite you out. Hey, I'm doing my show. We want to invite you out. Whatever we blah blah blah. You don't even have to give nothing.
Yeah.
Let us come in and give us, like me. My thought was, if I just get a 4-foot table and sit with my back against the barber competitions, and I'm filming live from in front of the barber competitions, talking to different influencers and people that are coming to the show, that
Yep.
makes it better anyway. Because I'm
Yep.
going all day. Because sometimes at these shows there's dead spots. But what if we could somehow incorporate the two in where it's not a dead spot. We're talking to people live that are experiencing the show, and you're getting real live testimonial right then of how it's impacting them, how they loved it, how it was organized. You're getting real live stuff, and that's what people want to see.
Absolutely. Yep. And the fact of the matter is that the majority of the time we don't even know who win.
Right.
Because if you stay like this year at LV was my first time ever staying to see the award ceremony
At night.
of who won each, and it was like it was probably less than 200 people left in there or something like that. But
Exactly.
they were waiting to see who won the trophies or whatever. Everybody else started leaving. I feel like it's disrespectful if vendors are already breaking stuff down when it's
Exactly.
still the production going on. Like you had vendors, everything's almost gone. They already boxed everything up. They taping things down while they still doing first place, second place. And I was like, this not what it is. It should be the show need to be on task and is on schedule to the point where if it's supposed to be over at 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock it is, and then the award show is over and people are just hanging around, and then you could break it down. But I just
Exactly.
felt like it was just rude. But we don't never like every hair show that I've been to. The majority of the time, I never seen they don't never put them online nowhere really. The only time is if the barber put them up and then they hashtag it. But the hashtags they don't even say hashtag LV Barber Expo 2025, or it should just be one if you're gonna do it every year.
Right.
Hashtag LV Barber Expo, so we could see the whole rundown of years of content. So I don't be seeing that either. So there needs to be more um of a better production because this year LV was good, but it wasn't what I thought it would be. And that's
Right.
maybe because I was running around. CT was good, but it wasn't what I thought it would be. Dallas with BarberCon was good, but it's not what I thought it would be. And that's everybody. Everybody gonna say that. Oh, it could have been better education. It could have been a better when it comes to vendors. It could have been better when it comes to the competitions. It's just with like a lot of people say, it's what you go for, and I try to go for everything.
Right.
So it just, I'm gonna have a conversation with Lee and I'm gonna have a conversation with Jay because I had my wife go to LV for the first time and now she has fresh eyes, right? Because we
Right.
may go all the time and it's like, yeah, we may like this and that, but when I got somebody that never been to a barber expo, never been to a hair expo, and coming from the beginning of when you get your pass to when you get inside to when you take a look around, and she's really good when it comes to aesthetics, so she knows, oh, this not really working, or that
Right.
food area is not really right. Why is this big mobile thing right here? Like it really like throws it off. And why is it not more open? Like those type of things is what needs to be understood. Because
Right.
the flow in there was terrible. Like I
Right.
just didn't like the flow at all. And but that's what it is. It's a production. And we are experts that come to see these things and we try to shed some light on it and give them a better understanding so that they can perfect it for the next year. Because I've been going to these shows for over a decade and it's all the same format, but it's just who will execute the proper way.
Right. I'm kind of spoiled because when I started all this, I started back in the early '90s with Bronner Brothers.
Hmm.
And then I'm a culture of, I do a lot of different expos. So not just even in the barber room. Like I told you, I was in the music business as well.
Yeah.
So when you look at the production and you got to think most of these people who do these shows, it's basically just a one-man person who has a vision, right? And then they try to have because the budget isn't really there to do exactly what they want to do. Like when you do music shows and stuff like that, they have $1 million budgets where they have, okay, I have the production manager who's over just production. I have the logistics manager who's over this. I have the artist manager who's just over the talent. So they have a lot of different pieces that are helping them out. But if you look at Jay's running around pushing dollies and carts and moving boxes and all this stuff. Then it may be the element of that there's a union that says, okay, if you don't end this at this specific time, we're gonna charge you $5,000 an hour until you get all the stuff out of there.
Yep.
So all of that has to be taken into consideration when you think about these people who put on these shows. Some people have an idea, oh, I'm gonna put on a show, but they don't have the manpower to work with them to execute it exactly like they want it to be executed. Then you have people who don't have the eye like we have because we are content creators. That's what we're looking for. You looking for, okay, where am I? Like I saw you. You were set up in front of different prominent places that made your podcast look. I was like, yo, I was telling people, I was like, hey man, that dude Razor Sharp, that boy, he doing it. He don't pick backgrounds that was good. And I watched him get that tripod, run over here, and I'm trying to run over there to catch you. I was like, man, he moving. I get over here, he gone. I get over here, he gone. But when you put it all together, when you got back home, it was fabulous. It was great. Yeah. And you actually shined a great light on the LV Barber Expo. I want to give you kudos for that too, because you know it looked fabulous. Like you have a good eye for it. So we definitely gonna link up and tap in.
I appreciate that, my brother. I appreciate that. So with you being in the game for 30-something years, what part of New York you from?
So I was actually on Long Island, New York.
Okay.
So not in the 5 boroughs, Strong Island. So
okay. Because I'm from Queens, New York. I left New York.
I knew you was from uptown somewhere. I knew it. I could hear it in your voice.
Ah, okay. Yeah, man. I left New York 4 years ago. Came down to Georgia, and it's been the best move that I could ever do. You know, the brotherhood and the fellowship and that's down here is like unmatched. You know, just being down here and being able to be a part of something good and meet everybody from Hawk to Marcus Harvey to Tony Banks to, you know, Icon E, all these influential people that's down here in Georgia, Steph the Barber, doing great things. It's just a good melting pot. So like I tell people all the time, even if you can't move to Georgia, try to fellowship in Georgia. You know, are you familiar with Barber Evo?
Of course.
Okay,
I've been trying to link up with them. I've been trying to link up with them too. So
okay, yeah. So Barber Evo is doing their first North America hair event, which is going to be put on in Georgia this October 26th actually. Yes. And they have a great panel of barber instructors that's going to be here, from Kenny Duncan to Eric Chink, the DL, the Master Barber. Probably nobody's going to be here. Taylor May from Level 3. This is going to be the first of its kind. They do it a lot in the UK, but they're going to come here and do it for the first time. And I'm just happy to be a part of it, being able to network and market it. So definitely, yeah, just hit the people up at Barber. Just hit Barber Evo up and hit my supply guy, Ray Scott, because Ray Scott is the direct link to Barber Evo.
Send me that in the DM so I can, because I want to see if I can get like a press pass or something in there, because I would love to like cover it some kind of way to, you know, showcase it some kind of way. So
okay, I mean, I'll definitely reach out to Ray to let him know that you're interested in coming to capture it. That is going to be a Sunday, October 26th, and then we do our second our second installment of Fade and Fellowship with me, Icon E the Barber, Chop Guard, Tony Banks, and my supply guy, and Paulo Gifted Hands, which is on here. We're all invested in bringing to bring togetherness when it comes to the barber industry in Georgia. So we did our first one that was last month in September. Now we're doing our second one, and that's the day after. So we're trying to do something that Saturday. It's supposed to be like some kind of mixer that they're trying to do Saturday. Sunday is going to be the Barber Evo hair event, and then Monday will be the Phase and Fellowship meetup at Chop Guard's Barbershop in Georgia. So yeah, if you know, we just wanted so that there's people that is flying in, that we wanted it to be a weekend that they can have a great time. You know, go to ABBS and try to go to some of these barber schools and just do a tour. Come down and have a great time. So it ain't. It's not just that they just came down here for that Sunday, but you could do something Saturday, Sunday, and on Monday. So yeah, I'm gonna hit you up, and I'm gonna hit Ray up, and then we'll stay in communication, my brother. I got
Okay,
you.
that sounds good. You know, I graduated high school in Atlanta, so from Doug. So,
Okay.
oh yeah, yeah. That's why I went to the
Okay.
Marines from Atlanta, and you know that's why I said I was in Bronner Brothers when it started because you know that's how we was. Barbers and Styles was all together back in the days. We was one pot. So
Yep. Yep. So what keeps you continuing to hold a torch and keep doing this barbering thing after 30 years in it?
it's because I like the evolution of where barbering is going. Because you know, back in the days, when I started barbering, it was like a hustle. It was like you can't do nothing else, so go barber, or you was halfway in the streets and halfway trying to be a businessman. So you go to the barber shop,
Yep.
and you know back in the days you'll tell somebody, "Oh, I'm going to be a barber." What you going to go do that for? You could do so much stuff, other stuff. But
Yep.
now a kid says, "I want to be a barber," and their parents celebrate that. They're coming to the barber graduation for them. You know that. So where they're taking it to, I love that, and I like the way it's evolving. And for me, I always feel like if you're not learning, you're dying, you're not growing. So I
Mhm.
always want to be at the forefront. Like even when enhancements came out, there was a lot of barbers that was with me, and they were, you know, coming to me, "Oh, why are you painting in people's hair?" Well, it's not painting; it's exactly what it's called. It's enhancement. You have to do a good haircut first
Yep.
before you can apply the enhancements. You know. So I
Yep.
said I want to stay on top of all the latest trends and all the latest things. Like I got a lot of barbers who I don't do social media. Okay, but soon that's going to be the only way you can reach people. You don't see people out there passing out flyers, and nobody want to take a flyer from you no more. You got to
Yep.
have a digital QR code and scan it to their phone. Like I tell people, 90% of the people, 90% of the day are on their phones. So if you don't have a way to get your information into their phone, whether you got to help them do it or not,
Yep.
they're not going to remember you,
No. You're
and
right.
they're going to go on Google and look at the review. And if you ain't on Google with no reviews, they're not coming to your shop.
No.
So all that, I don't want to be on social media and all that stuff. That's cool. Get a business page. I ain't tell you to go on social media and share all your personal life on there, but have a professional barber page. I have a website. I have social media outlets. I have all that because you have to reach the people where they're at. You can't reach them where they're not at. Nobody's reading the newspaper that much no more. And if they are, they're not trying to check for you now because you're doing the new stuff and they're into the old stuff. So
That's a fact.
wherever they're at, you have to reach them. Like you doing the
Yep.
podcast, how many people do you think are seeing it? They might not see it live, but it's going to show up on their reel and they're going to see it later.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
I've been trying to be consistent now because I see that like every time that I invite somebody to come on, or if I got something scheduled to have an interview with somebody, we're cross branding, we're doing collaborations, and there's people that may not know of you, that's that's following me, and people that's following you that don't know me, and we're cross utilizing this social media game to bring more awareness to what we both got going on. And I see that every time that I do a live, I got at least 3 to 4 people that may follow just because they see that they hear the conversation that's being had and they're in tune with that and they want to get more from it. So it definitely works. Even but like you said, I just moved to a private suite coming from a barbershop for 3.5 years once I moved down here. And the first thing I did was make sure that before the ink was dry on my lease, I already had a Google link so people could start leaving reviews. And even my old clients that still book me on Booksy, I said, well, I need you to go and leave a review on my Google. And since I moved here, I've been here almost a year now, and it'll be a year in December. I get so many phone calls. People think it's a barbershop, and they say, "Hey, are you still open? Can you still take me?" I'm like, sorry, it's only appointments only, but I still send them that link as soon as I get off the phone with them.
right, right,
So just by me having the Google link and people are on Google seeing what's the closest barbershop near them, and I'm the only barbershop that stay open late, I
right,
get a lot of calls. So I can
exactly,
generate more clientele just by doing exactly what I've been doing, but utilizing Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and all of these platforms to bring more awareness. So it's definitely important. There's people that's not man, I was just in New York, and I know that there's barbers that's in New York that's thriving, and I know that there's barbers out there that's starving. They're
Right.
not getting no cuts. The clientele is dwindling down. The areas are starting to be ransacked. And I'm just saying it's time for a change overall in every different aspect of it. And I see it, bro. It's just crazy. I could go to Vegas and go to a barbershop and see how people thriving. I could go to Houston and see how they thriving. I could go to New York and see how they thriving. But in the same breath, there's people that's not. And there's a
Right.
lot of people that's not getting on board to what's next. And going to hair shows is one of those things that let you know that's what's next. You know?
Exactly. I tell
Yep.
people, new barbers and old barbers all the time, do you want to be a busy barber or do you want to be a wealthy barber? Because busy means, oh, I cut 20 heads today. Okay, you're cutting 20 heads at $15, $20. But if you're a wealthy barber, you may cut 10 heads a day, but because you have a good program, good atmosphere, you have barber package services, now you're cutting 10 heads, making twice as much as the other person, but what you're getting is you're getting time. Time is the
Yep.
most valuable asset that a person can have.
Yep.
And if you can gain your time back, especially me, I'm 52, right? 52 years old. I have less years in front of me than I do behind me, right?
Yep.
So I need as much time as possible. And if you know you've been in this barber game for a while, them long hours from 6:30, like I used to work 6:30 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night, and that's 6 days a week. You don't even have time to enjoy the money that you was making.
You done missed everything. You done missed kids going out, like kids going places and barbecues and birthdays and holidays, everything. We done missed everything just by being a slave to behind a chair.
Right,
And we get to the age where we start to realize that no, that ain't gonna work for me that much longer.
right,
But it may take 15, 20, 30 years for you to realize it. Now we could do that early on. These new barbers have the advantage of being able to have a structure out of barber school, creating
right,
creating their own schedule and having a booking app off the rip that can prioritize them better so that they can actually have more time of freedom. And that's what I see. There's barbers that's just coming out of barber school, 19, 20 years old, 15 years old, that have structure, that's doing very well for themselves because it's there for them to have an understanding. But you have to be open to what the change is. A lot
exactly.
of these OGs is not open to it, and that's why they don't got a retirement plan. They
No.
gonna they gonna die cutting, or something happens and then
And then
they
they
gonna
can't
fade
cut, they
away.
don't have nothing to fall back on.
There's a
Like
lot. I know
financial
people.
literacy, that's one thing that if you go to my main website, TDBI Corp, you'll see that on the bottom is different financial literacy plans because you have to know how to maximize whatever you're doing from behind the chair. And as a barber, most of your clients, whatever you're telling them, they're going to believe. They're looking at you as a voice, to give them information. Hey, where's this at? How do I do this? What do I do with that? And then when you tell them, they're like, okay, I'm gonna go check that out. So you have to use that. You have to use that from behind your chair and maximize it. If you have one client, how much can you maximize it? Can you sell them product? Can you sell them this or that? Hell, can he give you something? Because I've gotten a lot from clients, like as far as my marketing, my branding, all that stuff, that came from a client who owned a marketing school. And he's the one who told me I was going to change my name back to my government name. He's like, why would you change it from Trust the Barber to your government name? Do you understand what you're saying every time you say Trust the Barber and they say Trust? I had people
Hmm.
tell me, oh, I picked you out of all the barbers out at the shop because your name said Trust.
Hmm.
So, you get a lot from your clients and you can give a lot to your clients.
That's fire. And it's crazy that you TDB and I'm TDB.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. It's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
we
But
definitely got to link up. I know we got to link up. When I first saw you and I seen your energy was what attracted me the most. When you give an interview, I'm like, everybody so from where I was sitting at, where those round tables were? So we were all
what
sitting
school
over
was
there
that?
and you in the LV Barber Expo. And
Yeah.
there's those round tables where you sit at and eat or whatever. And you were giving an interview to a young man. He was a 20-year-old
20.
and
Yep.
everybody stopped what they was doing, and we were all watching the interview that you
Uh-huh.
were giving. I was like, I gotta meet him. I gotta find out who he is. But like I said, I chased you around for about an hour, but you was moving too fast for me. I'm 52, so you was moving. So
Yo, it's crazy because the first time that I met the United Barbers Club was in Vegas. I think 2018, and I was running around doing the same thing, running around interviewing people, and it was like they had seen me on the sidelines and they stopped me like, "Yo, what are you doing?" Like, because that's when I had my cameras and stuff. Then I had cameras. I had the external Zoom 6 recorder with the microphones and everything. But now I downsize,
I
right?
saw
And
that.
it
You
was
got a
like,
good setup.
everything is minimalist. And
Yeah.
thank you for that. And they was like, whatever you doing, we got to do something like that. And then they went back after that show, and then they started to do their thing. And now they got sponsorships with Barber Vision TV, and they got Booksy and all of these things. And they say it all the time that they met me at the LV Barber Expo, and they got the idea because they was already doing battles and stuff, but they got the idea to really start to capture it. And now, it's just you see somebody doing something and it's not to copy it, but I want to do something similar. Now,
Right.
me, I got mine. I don't know if you're familiar with Kamon Rule. He owns Barber World TV, and Barber World TV
I know
was the
Barber
one
Brothers.
that, yeah. So Barber World TV did the barber battles back in the day in New York City, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. But he always was going to all the different hair shows, had products, had T-shirts, everything, and I seen him doing it from then. That's what gave me the whole idea of going to hair shows, was really seeing what Barber World TV was bringing on. Then I went to the barber battles in New York because I was in New York. But me seeing that was like, oh well, if he could do it, I could do it. Then when he did his podcast, he did Barber World TV, the podcast. He started that. He's one of the first barber podcasts I've seen, and he did it. I seen the format. Then he needed somebody to do the video editing. I said, I'll do it for you. Then I started to do it, and then I was able to sit on most of the episodes to really watch it. And then once he stopped doing it, I was like, okay, well now I want to take the baton and keep it going. So I took the format that he did, and I just kept it going because I was affiliated with Barber World TV for quite some time, and I just want to make him happy that somebody else seen what he was doing and is continuing to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Right. Well, they say the best form of flattery is imitation. And
yeah,
you see, you got a tree. You started from his tree, and Lion Tamil started from your tree. I saw all y'all online, and I was like, hey, I know people got a story out there, and I want to help them. I owned a digital media company back in the days, so I know how to do all the stuff. And then when
yeah.
COVID hit, I said, I need to figure out because I don't know if Barber is even coming back. We don't even know what was going on in COVID.
Oh
So
no,
I taught myself a lot of different programs, AI, and all that stuff. And I said, you know what? Let me put this thing on out here. So, hey, here we are today. But
salute, my brother. Yes.
yes,
So we're
sir.
gonna be locked in. Where can they find a podcast at?
You can go on my YouTube channel, which is Trust the Barber Versus. You can go on there. I also you see how much we post on Instagram. That's TDB versus 24. We're on everything. We're on TikTok, Rumble, Facebook. So you can see it on any one of those platforms. But we always stream live 3 o'clock on Sunday, 3 o'clock Eastern on Sundays. So that's 1 o'clock or was it 2 o'clock in Central and 12 o'clock on the Pacific Standard Time. But we're always there every Sunday. And some days we're doing the interviews, but if we happen to make it to an expo, we're going live from that expo. So I'll try to find somebody in that expo to interview right then and there at the expo.
That's amazing, bro. So I'm about to. You gonna start seeing all these likes on YouTube. Cause once I find a new channel, bro, I go crazy, and all I do is watch, 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 watch.
And we
So
got
you're gonna have a
long
new subscriber,
content, hour plus content on there.
bro.
So
I listen to my stuff in 2.5 times speed. So I go through a whole hour episode in about 15, 20 minutes.
oh wow.
I watch
Okay, well,
maybe I consume maybe 6 hours of content a day on YouTube.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay, you really watching.
yeah. And I'm screen recording to put up on social media, something that sparked my interest. Like while Cole was doing his panel yesterday, I was already screen recording on my second phone. Before that live was already done, I already had stuff up.
Right. So
Because
that's how, like, my team, they do the same thing. They send me all this stuff out. Rude, is this gonna be able to get on there? Yeah. So because they find some good stuff out there, and like I said, barbers are very creative. So we always have some good content, and we all need to like keep doing what we need to cast a wide net, and we all need to intermingle with each other and help everybody's platforms to succeed, because that's how we, you do a lot with just an open hand, but a strong closed fist is more powerful. So,
absolutely, my brother. Absolutely.
yes, sir.
Yes. So we locked in, man. I'm gonna definitely take this part of us having a conversation, chop it up and put it out there. Especially the part where you talk about where they can find you at, so that there'd be more eyes on you and vice versa. So
Vice
I
versa.
thank you for taking the time out to even accept me asking you to come on board, just to have a brief conversation. But the brief conversation was very vital and very informative, because I got a better understanding of who you are. I got to see the face, and
Yes,
I
sir.
didn't even like. I seen that you had barbers on your platform, and it was like, yeah, we about to do the episode, but I didn't see no episodes. I was like, where can I find it at? So now I know, so I'm about to be locked in.
Yes,
You
sir.
got a new stalker, my brother. Let you know right now.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that. And we appreciate you for all you doing and putting stuff out there, because hey, you have some very dope content, and I've been resharing some things, so you got dope content.
Thank you, my brother. We're gonna talk soon, my brother. I
All
appreciate you.
right. Have a
All
great
right,
day.
peace.
Thank you.
Likewise.
Bye.